She laughed at the man she thought was just another co-pilot, only to freeze when the captain's chair turned, and the real chief pilot walked in. When Marcus Johnson walked into the crew lounge that morning, he was used to the stares. At 32, he was young too young. Some whispered to be flying a Boeing 787, but Marcus had learned to let whispers roll off his back. He'd worked twice as hard, flown twice as many hours, and earned every stripe on his shoulder. Still, what happened that morning would test his patience in ways no turbulence ever had. A new flight attendant, Chloe, strutted into the room, tossing her hair and glancing at Marcus with a smirk. "You pilots sure think you're all that," she said under her breath, eyeing his neatly pressed uniform. When Marcus politely introduced himself, she raised a brow. "You're the co-pilot for Flight 607, right? Make sure you don't mess up takeoff today. We've got VIPs on board." Her tone dripped with sarcasm. Marcus smiled calmly, refusing to match her energy. "Noted," he said softly. As the crew boarded the aircraft, Chloe continued her condescending remarks, joking with another attendant about rookie pilots trying to act important. Marcus simply reviewed his checklist, his focus unwavering. Then, just before departure, the announcement came, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome aboard our youngest chief pilot in the airline's history, Captain Marcus Johnson." Chloe's face turned pale as every head turned toward Marcus. The man she had mocked now stood tall, walking past her with the quiet confidence of a leader. "Captain Johnson, ready for takeoff," he said into the intercom, his voice steady. Chloe stammered, "See, Captain, you're the chief pilot." Marcus looked at her for a long moment before replying, "Respect should never depend on a title, Ms. Chloe." Throughout the flight, Chloe could barely meet his eyes. Yet Marcus treated her with grace, even thanking her for her professionalism once they landed. Later that day, she approached him privately. "I owe you an apology," she said quietly. "I judged you before I even knew you." Marcus smiled. "You're not the first, but I hope you'll be the last to treat anyone that way." The moment went viral after a passenger shared the story online, captioning it, "When humility takes flight." And from that day on, every crew member knew never underestimate the quiet man who commands the skies.